Welcome to the Hooch, where the only place more messed up than your hosts is the barracks on a Friday night or the VA. So get ready to stand by for your weekly dose of toilet humor and shenanigans from your fellow veterans, Coy Mack and Michael Grizzled Grunt Harris.
Good evening, fellow patriots. You got Coy Mack here and the one, the only Michael Harris.
I don't know if they can see me.
I can see you. I think they can see you just fine.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Oh, okay.
We've been having technical difficulties in the background today. I don't know why we are. If Michael's coming in a little low, I'm sorry. I tried to fix it. He's tried to fix it. We don't know what the issue is. We'll have to look at it later. But we have an interesting show for you tonight. Everybody's starting to kind of roll in. I'm guessing none of you got the YouTube notifications. Is what I'm gathering. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, probably. The Hooch
Probably.
is on Rumble.
Hooch is on Rumble. We're also on X, formerly known as Twitter, as well. So you can always find us on there. But yeah, Rumble's doing its thing. I forgot to actually change the info on the Rumble page before we went live. Oh well.
Huh.
It gets a double episode of the same thing.
It sure does.
Anyway, we have an interesting show for tonight. We're going to be talking about the good old Joe Biden and his Laken Riley, because that's her name, Laken Riley,
Laken.
and then his defenders defending him on saying not saying illegal was a bit in poor taste, right? To the murderer, alleged murderer, as the media likes to point out. It's like he allegedly did it.
Yeah.
So
Allegedly.
we also got Ben Shapiro being Ben Shapiro and Dan Crenshaw being Dan Crenshaw as well.
God,
And Michael, I have the most important question of the day. You want to know what it is?
What is it?
Why are you gay?
Who, me?
Yeah. Why are you gay? Because
Not me.
Because it's funny to me that everybody was up in arms about Hannah Barron because she is a Southern white chick who likes to noodle and build houses and is apparently too masculine, and that makes you gay.
Yeah.
If you like masculine women.
You're not too masculine if you're a leftist, though. If you're a leftist, you can be as masculine as you want.
Yeah.
You know, it makes no sense. And they just pick and choose anything. They find any target and they go after it because they aren't like them. They're not a monolith.
Yeah.
So, and they're all clowns. So
They
I'm
are.
not going to do nothing about it anyway.
They are clowns, and I don't get why. Like, it was funny though, because it wasn't who you thought was going to be the one causing all the issues. It was like the red pillars that were causing the issues.
Oh,
Yeah.
They ain't no better.
Yeah, it's like she's too masculine. It's like, no, I'll share it later. I put a tweet on the Hooch X page about it because like she's an attractive woman that has skills. Like, why are you saying that's gay? Kind of situation, you know what I mean?
Hey, I date a chick that can do all that stuff because I cook. I have to protect my hands, so there's no noodling for me. But
Yep.
hey, I take it. Go out there and hunt. I'd cook it up. For
Yeah, do it, man. She knows what she's doing. She knows her way around the kitchen.
If that's what you like doing, do it.
Exactly. And here's a fun page I wanted to share with you guys before we get started. It's community votes notes violating people. One of the best ones today is Slate.com said, it needs to be said, Sydney Sweeney's boobs aren't that big. Community note said, yes, they are. And then posted her Instagram.
Who is she?
She is an actress that was on Madam Web recently that bombed. Right?
Is she the
And
one from 50 Shades?
No. That's the Dakota. That's the other one. Sydney Sweeney is just like a kind of like middle of the road. She's kind of based, like she's all right.
Hey.
But like she was the only one trying to act in that movie, basically.
I haven't
Like
seen
she
it.
actually cared about her job, but like yeah, it was sad. But it's not the only ones in here. There's some other ones that are funny. Like a message to community notes, and then community notes says it's visible in the reflection in the sunglasses that the driver is wearing street clothes and not the formal attire that a private chauffeur would wear. He's clearly in a Lyft or an Uber.
Ah. Wow.
It's like just basically this whole page is just highlighting community notes, basically calling people out for their BS. Like one we're going to talk about later, the sad dude, right? Any man that finds tomboys attractive is gay, which is why I labeled this episode gay, because he had to ask the question,
why are you gay?
Exactly.
Why?
I have that on my soundboard now. I'm going to use it a lot more often because it's hilarious. Because like there's that one, and then I also have.
That's racist!
Yeah, that's very racist. Whatever.
It is racist.
It is.
But no, but the community notes is saying being attracted to a woman as a man is not gay. It's a definition of heterosexual, which is true.
Yeah,
it is true. But yeah, it's a great page. So I would say if Ghey or Kim were talking about banning one of the most popular social media platforms, everybody would be screaming about fascist censorship. Every major international social media platform is blocked in China. That's from North Korea. The internet is not public. So yeah, like it's a great page. Check it out, and give yourself a good laugh. So I think since we brought up her this time, we'll go ahead and talk about it. So what it was is that over the weekend, this person who is currently privated, not really privated, but just blocked everybody that doesn't follow her. Now, because the original post, she got so much shit for what she said that now all of her posts are protected. So that's an update to the story here, is that everybody was giving her so much crap that she had to private her account. But basically, she went on to say that this woman, what it was is that she said that her accent needs to be illegal, and that women basically being masculine is what's wrong with America, and that there's no feminine women, and it's like she's too masculine is what it was. But the fact that she said that she needed to, like, her accent was illegal, should be illegal, because it's a Southern Alabama accent. Like it's a really heavy accent. We'll hear it a little bit. I had the original post before, but this is what I said, sir, like to the original video, which I'll try to bring up later. No, sir, that's a Southern 10 right there. She'll hunt it, skin it, and cook it right there in the kitchen, then snuggle up next to you with the book after. She'll build you a life. That's the kind of woman you want. That's like, to me, that's the kind of woman you would want, is somebody that could build a life with you or for you. If that's what you're really wanting, if you want a woman that'll build things for you.
Yeah. I can dig it, but those are those feminists like that are projecting because she is jealous that this woman can do things that she cannot. So she attacks her for doing the things that she cannot. So back in the day, women used to do stuff like that, honestly.
They did. But the funny thing about this is, like, Samara Khan isn't a feminist. She's a commentator for the right these days. At least changed over to be into the right, according to there. So, like, this is coming from The Blaze. A former beauty pageant contestant turned journalist and political commentator ignited a firestorm by attacking TikTok fishing star for her Southern accent and common interest in construction. Samara Khan, formerly a Bernie supporter and now anti-woke social media commentator. Khan was a Washington correspondent for the Kremlin-backed RT and had been gotten into trouble with Russian media outlet in 2018 after she posted memes praising Joseph Stalin's gulags, and the state news network deemed it as uninformed and misguided.
What does she look like? I know that name.
You do. I'll show pictures here in a minute. She claimed she resigned from RT a week before the controversy. She claimed she was probably fired. Khan sparked outrage again this week when she attacked the outdoor social media star or influencer and American women in general. She denigrated Hannah Barron, an Alabama-based social media star, for her current revolving around hunting, fishing, firearms. Barron is known as the Catfish Girl for her skills at noodling, which she has some mad skills. I got videos to show on that in a minute. And if you don't know what noodling is basically you stick your hand in a catfish hole and pull out a catfish with your bare hands. That's noodling. You fish with the hands. How you do it? Honestly, it's a cultural pastime in the South. Like people say that the Americans and like especially certain people in the South, like all the culture in America mostly is in the South, right? At least in my opinion. But I'm biased because I was born in the South. So like it's a pastime in the South, the noodle.
I don't know about all that, but yeah, I can see it. You know, not all the cultures in the South. American culture.
I said
you
I
know,
was biased, and that was just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I said, yeah, I get it, but that's your bias is incorrect.
Yeah, it's my bias is showing. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So she has over 2.1 million followers on TikTok, and she has 1.4 million followers on Instagram, as well as 744,000 subscribers on YouTube. Kind of reposted the TikTok video of Barron's TikTok account showing Hannah doing a tour of a house being constructed by Barron, her father, and her boyfriend. She mocked Barron and the American women by saying this accent needs to be illegal and women should be banned from doing manual labor like this. There's nothing feminine about American women, and American women are literally men. American women are literally men.
Is she American?
No, she's not. I think she's Pakistani or something like that, or Lebanese. I don't know, maybe Pakistani, Lebanese.
Anything, you know, because I don't want to get us a strike, but I would, you know, but she needs to go and sit back down and never mind. I'm not going to say that.
She needs to calm down, sir.
Yeah, she needs to calm down. In her country, she needs to know her place.
Well, here's one of the other things that was added to this whole situation. She added, Lebanese women are literally perfect and they are actually feminine, unlike estrogen deficient American women who hold the record for the highest testosterone levels in the world. Apparently, American women have the highest testosterone levels in the world. The highest. I don't know. Like we have quite a few women that visit our YouTube channel. Do you think you have high testosterone? Let me know in the chat below. I put up the chat for everybody to see on the show, so you can actually see the results of that. It's just funny to me that that's where we are in discourse today. Is like we have these red pillars that are saying you can't have any masculine women because that makes you gay. And it's like, no, that's not true. Like you know when you see one, you're like, yeah, you're just trying to be a man. And not because you have masculine energy. Totally different.
I want to offer a promotion of your channel. Viewers, followers.
It's a bot. Don't worry about it.
I know. Yeah, it's stupid.
Hate those bots, man.
Nobody cares about you.
Thanks, Twitch bot. I like it. First time streaming on there and you have to go in and ruin things.
Yeah, no one cares about you.
Anyway, so it's funny to me, like I said, is that I don't know. It's weird because you look at the leftist argument of what makes a woman a man and a man and a woman, and it totally doesn't make sense. And then you got these red pillars that are like being attractive to two masculine men makes you gay. It's like, yeah, that's kind of what you used to make fun of your friends in the 90s with. It's like, oh man, you're into that little tomboy girl, you got to be gay. you know, we used to make fun of people like that. But no, there's nothing wrong with liking a tomboy. I think honestly, that's one of the reasons that's leading to the issue that we have today is that we won't let women have masculine hobbies. You know, like tomboys used to be just tomboys.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
Everybody knew it. We knew they weren't gay. They were just tomboys. They like to hang out with the dudes. And you have a lot of females who are very feminine and have a lot of male friends who kind of have tomboy tendencies, but they're also very feminine at the same time. Yeah. But, you know, for her to say something like that, you're saying that she praised Joseph Stalin, right?
The gulags and social Stalin, yeah.
Well, yeah, so she praised something like that. So that's telling you that she's not a real red pill. She's not red pill anything. She's a leftist disguising.
Oh, yeah. No, she's coming out as being a grifter. That's what it comes down to.
That's exactly what she is. She's a grifter. She's looking for that clout. So she sees, hey, there could be some clout given to me on the right. Let me jump over there real quick. She's a leftist. She'll always be a leftist, and no one cares about her opinion.
If you conceal carry, are you masculine? No, that makes you smart.
Yes.
That's what I would say. If you conceal carry as a woman, all women should be concealed carrying, period. In my opinion. They should all have a little gat in their purse.
And here's another reason why she's a fraud, because if she really stood on what she believed in, I mean, you stand on it, you believe in what you posted, why would you go private?
Yep.
You know, stand on it. Stand on your beliefs. If you're going to put something out in the interwebs like that and you truly believe that, stand on your belief.
Stand on your
don't
principles,
run,
man.
Don't run and cry and hide and put your account private, because that means you did it for clout. So.
She did. That's exactly what she did. She did it absolutely for clout.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the funniest thing about this situation. So let's go on. She also posted a video, the noodling video, and she commented saying, high value American men should become passport bros. Don't they need better than the filth they are limited to in their own country? Do you agree or disagree? What are your thoughts? I think there are many reasons you should do the passport thing, but it's only because the pool of women in America is very small that actually are kind of trad. But what you're attacking is not what makes a passport bro.
Yeah.
That's what you would want in American women.
Yeah, and her bringing up passport bros, there's a lot of reasons behind the passport bros. And it has nothing to do with the looks of the women in America, because I think America has some beautiful women in our country. I think a lot of it has to do with traditionalism. They're looking for those traditional values in a woman. And to be honest, there's a lot of American women out there that aren't very traditional these days. So it's cool. My ex-wife was from another country, you know, so she wasn't very traditional. She was cool, though. You know,
no, I get you.
She was a good person, but, you know, it is what it is, man. Just let people be happy. Why does it bug her so much that she has to post something like that?
Honestly, you know? It's because of jealousy. Like, and I'll show you why in a minute. But here's one of the videos, that the noodling video that we were talking about earlier, of her catching this big ass catfish. Yeah. And she got that with her bare hands, by the way.
You're supposed to go woo.
Yeah, that's the most southern redneck thing I've seen today. Yeah. But that's the way it is, man. That's the way it is.
Wooed a couple times. Yeah,
it's not the wooing. It's the fact that you're wooing on a fishing boat in the middle of a river with a catfish you caught with your bare hands. That's it.
The question is, again, why is she so pressed about it? Why did that lady, that video, get you to make a post that you tucked your tail between your legs after you posted it? Why did that video of that lady fishing in her natural habitat, you know, that's what she does.
Why did it get you triggered?
Why did it trigger you so much?
Yeah, why did it trigger you so much?
You know why? Because you're a clout-chasing grifter.
Exactly. And I'll also show you the other reason why. It's because of her Instagram.
Who has a higher count?
This is her Instagram, right? She has 1.5 million followers. It probably went up because of the controversy, so the Streisand effect is working. Mm-hmm. And the reason why is because of this. She's an attractive woman that does hunting and fishing activities and is very southern. We'll put it like that, right? Okay. And so here now to compare is the other woman, which I had it up again. I got it on the page.
Let's count how many filters.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Okay, here you go.
She looks like a narcissist. She looks toxic.
Yeah.
Very toxic.
Yeah.
She looks like she likes to emasculate her men.
So, and then this is a more normal photo of her ish.
Oh yeah, toxic.
So, tell me, in your opinion and estimation, why she decided to make this a hill worth dying on.
Jealousy. See, the other lady has a more natural beauty to her. If
you
look at her photos, it's way natural. She does, and there's nothing wrong with makeup. Don't get me wrong, ladies. But you know, when you see someone in their natural state and they're just freaking gorgeous, that shows you the jealousy right there. Because this lady probably, if she takes off their makeup, she probably looks like a totally different person. scary. So she's jealous. It's
You
all
should
jealous.
always go to the pool on a first date.
Yes.
Get the makeup off. Unless she's wearing the waterproof makeup, then you're kind of stuck with that. But no, in all seriousness, you're right. Like natural beauties will always win out over the plastic people. Like that's why I don't understand why these actresses in Hollywood start messing up their face. You know, and they just butcher it, and it's always butchered. It never gets better. Never.
Yeah.
It always looks worse.
And again, I don't want the ladies that use makeup and filters to get upset. We're just speaking from a male's point of view. Not every man, thinks like me or coy or agrees with it. But I am more of a natural beauty person.
Right.
And then when you get dolled up, that's times 10. That means, Jesus, you're even freaking hotter, So
yeah, no,
it is what
exactly.
it
So
is.
like
I know what I like.
having a natural beauty only is enhanced by light makeup, right? Having zero makeup and still looking attractive is the what you should have a base for. But here's the I had another thing I was going to talk about.
Picture up.
No, I've got a response video to Khan. But no, there was something else I was going to talk about with women, is that makeup should only enhance features. It shouldn't be something that you create a completely fake persona. Now I remembered what it was. It's having an overly makeup person who looks attractive, but as soon as they take it off, looks like a whale. Right? It's the same thing as going out with a guy with a luscious set of hair and finding out it's a toupee.
True.
It's the exact same thing.
And you're right on that, Coy, because you see the videos on social media about the ladies. They're just like, whoa, without makeup, they're missing teeth, and they're just then they put on makeup and look like a totally different person.
Exactly.
Then you get upset when you hook up with a dude and he wakes up and looks over at you. You're looking like a dang Sasquatch next to him, a woolly mammoth, and then you wonder why you get ghosted. No, you should have came real from the beginning. This is what I really look like without all this makeup, but I do I look good. But a lot of times you get these catfishers out there catfishing. Zing.
Catfishing, yeah, catfishers.
Yeah. Catfish dudes like this chick, that con chick, she probably catfishes dudes.
Exactly.
And then when they see her without makeup, she's looking like a totally different person. So this young lady has natural beauty, and she's jealous of that.
No, and they should. Like you said, makeup should enhance. It shouldn't be the base. If you don't look attractive, you shouldn't overly make up yourself to present yourself as something you're not, because it's never gonna go well. And even some of the influencers out there that do the heavy makeup stuff like that, they're not that attractive once it comes off. Like I've seen a few of them without makeup, and it's like,
I've never understood the reasoning behind makeup. You get all dolled up, because a lot of them do get all dolled up just to do a freaking TikTok video. And then on top of that makeup, you got another bold glamour filter on. You're like, what the hell? You did all this work on your makeup, and then you put this filter on your face. I don't know who the hell you are. What do you really look like?
What's your real face? Show me your real face.
What do you really look like? But it's all good, Hey, I dig it.
Are you claiming that Matthew McConaughey has a toupee?
He does.
McConaughey.
Interesting.
I'll have to look that up, because I wonder if that is true, because that would actually be funny.
Top secret information,
Top secret, because I've seen Matthew McConaughey's hair. It doesn't look like he has a toupee, but hey.
All right.
He is getting up there in age. So this is her responsive video to the whole thing.
Good morning, y'all. I don't have a Twitter. I did at one point, but my account got removed for whatever reason, and I just hadn't got around to making another account. But apparently I'm trending on Twitter right now because some girl, hey Meryl, some girl said that my accent should be illegal. Women shouldn't do manual labor. What else did she say? American women are basically men, and she just said that I was not feminine. Ooh. And I would tell y'all this girl's name, but I can't remember it because I don't have a clue who she is. So that should tell you how relevant this person is. But I just think it's hilarious because I grew up as the weird kid in high school who hunted and fished too much, because back then it wasn't cool for women to hunt or fish or the whole country lifestyle. And I'm so proud of all the women in the outdoors now who are making that more cool or popular. I'm so proud of us. I think we're doing great. But I've been helping Dad build houses since I was 15. When I was a senior in high school, I taught kids how to weld in ag class. So I've done, not manual labor. When I think of manual labor, I think of what my dad does. I'm nowhere near that. I just help as much as I can, and I try. And it's fun. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of blue-collar women out there who are also feminine. And so I just think that you should embrace your own individuality. You should be yourself. And don't worry about what anybody else said, because these folks talking about me and think they're going to offend me, that ship sailed a long time ago. I've been getting picked on my whole life. I grew up around men. Well, so don't be scared to build your own box, and don't try to fit in anybody else's. Be your own person, and you'll be happier in the long run because of that. And don't worry about what anybody else has to say. Hope y'all have a good one. Appreciate y'all.
I can
Southern
dig
charm.
that statement. You know, I kind of have this kind of weird fetish for girls with them Southern accents like that. I don't know. There's something about it, man. You know what I mean? It's just like something about it.
I grew up around it, so like for me, it's like it's normal speak, right? Like that's what it is. Like that's what's funny about me is that when I tell people where I live, it's like, well, why don't you have a Southern accent? I don't know. I don't. I never picked it up. I guess.
Gonna have the accent, but you know, I grew up around a lot of dudes and bruh, you know, like gnarly and all this stuff. You know, coming from California. But when I joined the military, being a California kid, and I got to the South, all them country girls, man, I was just like, damn, I love that accent. I love it.
Everybody have their taste.
I'm gonna listen to it again after this.
After it's over, I'm gonna listen to it again.
After we're done, I'm gonna go just listen to her speak. But you know, let's take some bets, audience. If you put her and that other girl in a ring, who do you think would win?
Yeah.
Like straight.
No,
up.
it's definitely gonna be Hannah there.
Yeah, no doubt. That old country
Barron's
girl
winning that one,
mop
hand
the
down.
floor with her. And she knows.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Like, like I said, dude, it's like this isn't what we want. Like, to me, she's like an all-American woman. Like, let's look at it like that. That's exactly what she is, right? If you had to picture what an American woman is, that's it, right there.
Red, white, and
like,
awesome.
Pretty, has skills, self-reliant, right? Homemaker, literal homemaker in one respect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what you would want. That's the package. That's what you're looking for. If you had to put it like that.
Let's not get it.
Good old country girl.
Let's not confuse the audience. Not only the girls that are all American come from the South, because there are many girls who are all American girls all across the country. It's the values. It's not where you're from. It's the values you carry.
It's the values you keep. Yep.
So you can be from California and be an all-American girl. You can be from New York and be an all-American girl. But that dang, you better have that country accent if you want to woo me. No, I'm kidding.
To me, it comes down to like a bunch of women that they want all the privileges without any of the skills kind of situation, right? So they want to be a masculine dude, but they don't have any of the masculine skills. You know what I mean? Like that kind of like worthless situation. Not that they're worthless. I'm just saying it's pretty bad. Like if you can't cook and you want to be a dude, is like, then why are you acting like a man if you don't have any skills to back up? Because like being a man's not that fun, honestly. No. If you really want to put it out, it's not that fun. So like
it's tiny.
Yeah.
It's like that big.
It ain't fun, man.
And you know, guys like women like that, man, because for me personally, I can speak for myself. I want to date or be with someone that can hold stuff down when I'm not around. You know, I'm very traditional when it comes to relationships, but I like a woman that can be like, if I'm gone, say I'm traveling and I'm doing something with some chef stuff, she can hold it down. If the pipes bust, if something happens, she ain't calling me. She's like, I got it. I can fix it. I like that shit. But at the end
don't
of the day,
need a help.
She still looks at me as, you know, it's still that dynamic in the relationship. And that's what they don't understand. It's that dynamic in her relationship. I guarantee it. But her boyfriend looks at her saying she can hold it down too.
Yeah.
You know,
it's the helpless damsel. Not everybody wants that, man.
No.
Like if I don't want to be worried about things breaking at home when I'm gone doing other things. Like that's not something that you want in the back of your mind. Like you need to know that your second half can handle things while you're gone.
And most women like that are ride or die with their dudes.
Oh, yeah.
Like traditional to the core, like ride or die. That's what dudes want, man. You know, we want to ride or die too.
I don't want a blue-haired feminist who believes in equality that just wants the privileges but none of the drawbacks.
Yeah. Because we all believe in equality at the end of the day. But, you know, my life doesn't wrap around that, you know. Believe in what you say.
People want equality until it comes with the drawbacks.
Yeah.
That's what it really comes down
equality
to.
Here, I want you to go on the front line in this firefight, and I want you to hold it down. What? I'm a
Hold
girl.
it down, sir.
Oh, now you're a girl. Oh,
Yeah. It's like I want all the same rights as men. Okay. Do you want to be in the selective service? Oh well, no, I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
I didn't mean being drafted.
Yeah, you could
I don't
say
want that.
You're gonna get drafted. I can cook. I can clean. You know, now you're Susie
It's
Homemaker
like,
now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like no. It's like, well, I don't want to be drafted. It's like there's tons of jobs in the military you can do, and still get drafted. I could put you in the office. I can put you in supply. I can put you in the air wings. I could put you almost anywhere except on the front lines if I really wanted to. And there are plenty of jobs in the military that nobody thinks about. When they think military, it's like, oh, you're going to put her in combat? And it's like, no. In fact, I will put her somewhere else. And I can still draft you. Because that means I could put more men on the front line.
And chicks like that, or ladies, chicks, whatever. She probably doesn't care about chicks. But
Right.
they're the type that would be like an 11 Bravo or 03.
Yeah.
They're the type that, because it's open, they're the type that would be like, you know what? I'm joining the infantry. I'm still a lady.
Yep.
But I can hold it down with the dudes.
Exactly. But that, like I said, that's what the difference between this is. Like, it's not the fact that they're masculine. It's the fact that they hold masculine tomboy traits, but still have feminine energy. That's the difference, right? It's like, even though she is a self-reliant woman, she still sees herself in a traditional light.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. So the difference between her and a blue-haired feminist, I'm always going to go with the country girl, period.
Yeah. And even if that country girl had blue hair, I'd go with that country girl with blue hair too.
Yeah, it's not. When I say blue hair, I mean that as in an ideological sense, not the actual like blue hair, because the hair color has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with the ideology. It just happens to be a stereotype that blue hairs exist.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Speaking of people living up to their stereotypes, since we'll transition from this topic, we'll talk about Ben Shapiro. He was trending today because of his stupid hot take. I mean, it's stupid in my opinion, right? So I'll let you listen to the video and then we can discuss what you think about it, because I don't think you've seen
before
it
you
yet.
start, do you have subtitles? Because you know how fast he talks.
I don't know. I don't think it has. Maybe I can lower his playback speed if it gets really too bad. But you know how he be. You know how he be.
Let's hear what you got to say, Ben.
And let's be real about this. It's insane that we haven't raised the retirement age in the United States. It's totally crazy. Joe Biden, if that were the case, Joe Biden should not be running for president. Hey, Joe Biden is 81 years old. The retirement age in the United States at which you start to receive Social Security and you are eligible for Medicare is 65. Joe Biden has technically been eligible for Social Security and Medicare for 16 years, and he wants to continue in office until he is 86, which is 19 years past when he would be eligible for retirement. No one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea unless you have some sort of health problem. Everybody that I know who is elderly, who has retired, is dead within 5 years. And if you talk to people who are elderly and they lose their purpose in life by losing their job and they stop working, things go to hell in a handbasket real quick. But put all of that aside, just on a fiscal level and on a logical level. When Franklin Delano Roosevelt established 65 as the retirement age, the average life expectancy in the United States was 63 years old. Today, the average life expectancy in the United States is close to 80. It's totally insane that you believe that you should be able to work from the time that you are essentially 20 to the time that you are 65, which is a 45-year period.
He's an Orthodox Jew.
Pay in, and then you will receive Social Security benefits sufficient to support you and your family, you and your wife or whatever, for like another 20 years. That's crazy talk. That is not fiscally sustainable. The notion that if you have to raise the retirement age to 67 or 68, that everyone is going to fall apart. My parents are that age. My parents are not retired. And they shouldn't retire. It would be very bad for them to retire. By the way, it's disrespectful to people who are 67, 68, 69 years old to suggest that they are in the same shape as people who are 65 were in 1940. It's not true at all. Have you met a 65-year-old lately? 65-year-olds are not old in the United States. They're not. 68-year-olds are not old in the United States. Again, Joe Biden thinks he's not old, and that dude is running for president again, and that dude actually is old, and he's 81. I failed to see how a country in which our entire leadership class is 80 plus is telling you that we should have a retirement age of 65. It makes no sense at all.
I wholeheartedly disagree with a lot of that.
Okay. Let me break that down real quick. One thing I will say about that is you should be able to retire at 60, 65. If the life expectancy of the average American is about 75, right? Why not allow that person? It should be a choice. I will say that much. It should be a choice. If you're able to work past 65, you can work. You made that choice. But if somebody says, I want to cut it off, I'm done. Then they have another 10, 15 years. If the life expectancy of the average person is 75, they still have 10, 15 years to enjoy retirement without clocking in someplace. So what he's trying to do, he's trying to push it past that. This is from what I get what he's saying, push it to, let's say, 80. So you're telling somebody, now you have to work till 80 to draw any type of Social Security and Medicare. And then say you die at 80 and a half. Now you don't even get to enjoy that money. Where does all that money go that you put into the pot? It goes
Big
right
Daddy government.
Big Daddy government. I think if you worked 20 plus years, let's say 25 years is the cutoff. If you started when you was 19 and you worked till you was 20 for 25 years at the same place or whatever, you should be able to get your retirement in full. Why do you have to wait? You put the money in. You put all that money in. I want my money. Why do I have to wait till this age? So I don't know. That's just me.
I agree with that too. It's like you shouldn't have to have a job to keep you alive. Those are the things he made is like, no, what he's talking about is purpose. There's a difference between purpose and having a reason to live. So like, I don't want to work until I die. I've seen that before. Like I've seen tons of people do that. They worked until they literally croaked. We even have people in the Senate and also in the judicial system that waited until they died working a place. Dude, is that a life you really want to live? Like the whole point of retirement was to enjoy your twilight years, right? And for most people, working until they're 60 is already rough enough, but you want to work them until they're 75?
Exactly.
Like, because I don't know where you want to raise the age to, right? Because like I want to work until I'm 75 until I die, and then I can retire. It's like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I mean,
no, I'm not doing that right now, but still,
people should be able to retire. Like I said, if you start working at the age of 20, at the age of 45, middle age, as myself, you should be able to retire and draw all your benefits. You should be able to enjoy those last few years of your life. But what he's saying, he wants you to go in there, pay taxes till you're 80 years old, keep putting it into the system. By the time you get to draw it, you're going to be so broke down and wore out that you're not going to be able to enjoy life. People want to enjoy life at retirement. And he's right. 65 isn't 65 like it used to be. My mom is 67, and she doesn't look or act or walk like a 67-year-old. A lot of people don't even know my age. They think I'm younger than what I really am. I'm a lot older than what some of y'all might think. But
yeah, no, it's funny. Like if you think Michael and I are the same age, you're wrong.
No, we're not.
We're not.
A couple
We're not.
years ahead of Coy.
Yeah.
But people should have the choice. Like I said, you start working at 20, say a government job. At the age of 45, you should be able to retire, and you should be able to enjoy. If the age cutoff is 75, you should be able to enjoy those last 30 years of retirement, spending it with your family, doing all the stuff you couldn't do with your family because you was working all the time. But Ben's just another freaking, what do you call those people? He's a demagogue, He's about the system, man.
Like I said, it's like I don't know. Ever since the Israel thing kicked off, I just can't stand Ben Shapiro.
No,
lately his takes have been absolutely stupid, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. He can have any opinion he wants. But I'm just saying is like, I don't want to work until I'm dead. And then I also don't want the system to extract money from me until I die either. So like you want to raise the retirement age. So what, that the government can get more taxes they're going to waste on foreign spending in the first place. So like they don't want to give any benefits to the American people. They don't want Social Security or Medicare to go to the people. Period. Like they want you to work until you die because they never have to pay you out. Exactly. Right. So it's like an insurance company. Think of it like an insurance company, right? They want you to keep paying insurance so that they never have to pay out your insurance. Period. Right. So like you get into an accident, that's why your rates go up. They don't want that. They don't actually have to use the money that you give them because they want to keep all that money to themselves. The same thing with government. They want to keep all that money for themselves and they never want to pay it out. The only people they actually want to pay it out to are foreign interests and the defense lobby. That's it. Or pharma or any of the other ones.
It's all a scam, you know, nowadays. And I'm older. I wish I can go back to my younger self and tell my younger self, like, you don't need this stuff. You don't need life insurance. You don't need to be putting into life insurance for money that you're never going to get back. You're putting all this hundreds of thousands of dollars into a program, but you don't get it until you're dead. In some cases, it depends on if it's term or there are two different ones where you can draw out. But like you said, even when you reach the age of retirement, which is 65 in America, you can have hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on how long you worked into Social Security. Yep. They only give you a percentage of that money that you put in coming from a check that was taxed that they took out to put into a Social Security. And then when you draw it, they tax you to draw it. And they only give you a percentage, a small percentage of that money. So most people that say they have $300,000 to $400,000 in their Social Security, their retirement, government retirement, whatever you want to call it, they don't even get to use it all because the government's taxing it every time. So they tax it to get it, and then when you draw it, they tax it and put that tax money right back into the pot. Yep. It should be 100% no taxes coming out of that, and you should get, if you want to do a lump sum, the government should give you the lump sum. But they don't. It's all a scam, man. All of it. Because
it's your money, right? That whole point is like a forced savings retirement plan. That's what it is. That's what Social Security is a forced retirement plan by the U.S. government because it's supposed to protect you in case you can't work or protect you in case you get old and you can't work anymore, right? That's the whole point is like, I don't want to work until I die situation so I can work for the system to pay into a pot that I'm never going to receive anything back from. That would be considered a scam if it was a company who had no intention on ever paying you your value back out. Yep. That would be a scam. But the U.S. government calls it a program. Yeah. So
it's all a scam. Like middle age should be the time where you're allowed to start drawing out your money. Middle age, 40s, mid 40s, late 40s, early 50s. You should be able to start drawing your money out at that time.
Yep. And the U.S. government means to stop using Social Security as a means of a savings account to protect themselves. And that's what they should stop doing. But they won't. They won't do that. They keep doing it every single time. That and they need to cut defense spending is what I would say as well. Another person that is a scam bring up is good old Dan Crenshaw, who's making waves again on Twitter because he's been leading the effort in a committee to ban TikTok in the United States or to force a company to divest from said company because it's a foreign entity that they believe is tied to the Communist Party because they're stealing Americans' data. And I still like to remind everybody there was a particular program in the United States who was using and abusing social media companies for data mining, even doing experiments on said people through social media as well. Facebook being a particular one who is experimenting on the U.S. people, using their data and selling their data, right? And the U.S. government using Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and all the other ones to spy on American citizens as well. So, like, you're complaining about the Chinese communists using Americans' data in nefarious ways, but not talking about banning the use of the U.S. from using Americans' data as maliciously. Gotcha.
Yep.
I got it.
And the funny thing is that this is just Facebook upset at the competitor.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It
They're mad at the
is.
competitor, and Facebook is, and their investors are pushing for this. What is Dan Crenshaw invested in? Meta.
Michael was talking about this earlier, Catalea, that Donald Trump is also trying to throw his hat in the ring to buy TikTok, because that's what they're trying to force him into. I'll read the tweet in a second. Yeah, go ahead, Michael. Sorry.
Yeah, but they're trying to get rid of the competitor, and Dan Crenshaw is invested in Meta. And I guarantee if you look at all those senators, those actors that are part of that committee, they all have some
shares.
type of investment in shares in Meta. So they don't need, it's messing with their shares, it's messing with their money. So we have to get rid of this competitor that is blowing up worldwide, bigger than Twitter, bigger than Facebook, bigger than Insta. And so we have to find a way to get rid of them. So who do we blame? China. China's the big bad freaking, the big bad guy. Even though we invited China to California, the president of China, to talk with the California governor and play basketball with them. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Exactly. I need to find it. I had it up earlier. Is Dan Crenshaw's reports where they actually can track the their money. But let's read his tweet real quick. So this is it's funny to me because this is how they started. So TikTok is at it again, manipulating users and scaring them into thinking they're about to lose TikTok. This week, the House will vote on a bill that would delist TikTok from app stores, but only if ByteDance doesn't sell the company. That's very socialist of you, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Very socialist of you. So you're using Big Daddy government to force a private company to sell if they don't listen to what you say.
Yep. And
very capitalist of you. Very capitalist of you.
ByteDance to sell the company to? That's another question.
Any other American company, particularly probably Meta, is what they would prefer.
Exactly. They know they want Meta or some other company to jump up and buy it. So now we can actually spy on Americans even more, and we can censor them even more any way we want. Right now, even though TikTok does do it, and the thing with TikTok put out an alert about call your congressman because they're trying to get rid of TikTok. But TikTok, on the other hand, is the same, app that has banned many conservative pages. I've been banned 12 times on TikTok. I've known people that have been up to 70 times. So, TikTok needs to figure out, are you going to continue to ban people and then you want to sit up here and ask for their help to keep TikTok? Can't have it both ways, man. Stop banning people, and we'll help.
Yeah, no, but that like I said, it's very socialist of them to use that to force a company to sell because they're a competitor. Because that's what it really comes down to. Remember what happened to Parler?
Mm-hmm.
During 2020, they're saying that Parler was responsible for January 6th.
Yep.
It's like, well, most of the organization happened on Facebook. We're just going to gloss over that fact. So the government and the corporations, including Amazon, colluded with each other to delist and wipe out Parler in one night.
Yep.
Right? So, I believe you. To be clear, this isn't a ban, but this is a way we can prevent the Chinese Communist Party from accessing millions of America's data. Why won't you put legislation together to block the United States government from accessing millions of Americans' data? And using it for malicious purposes, because that's what they've been doing.
Yeah. How about getting rid of the Patriot Act? How about that? Let's start there.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's allowed in America, and they're crying about it because anytime you go apply for anything, whether it be a credit card, whatever, anything you apply for, and your name and social security number is on there, that information gets shared with third parties. And we never know what third parties they get shared to. Could be a company in China. There's a company in China. There's a lot of American-based Chinese-owned companies. A lot here in America. They own land. They own farmland. They own all types of stuff here. But just this one company, how do we know these other companies aren't sharing our information?
Yep, exactly. I'm trying to... I need to find this because I had it earlier.
Everything is a rich man's trick. I always believe that. It's a lot deeper than China getting our information, because they can care less about China getting our information. They don't care. It's all money, man. It's all dollars. They know it.
So, TikTok is currently using users to share their zip code, asking users to share their zip codes, encouraging you to call your representative and repeat their lies. No, that's called democracy. That's how that works. How many other people use the same sort of campaigns to call their congressman because of a legislation that's being enacted?
Mm-hmm.
The companies do this all the time. Even Facebook does this all the time. You even have Google that interferes regularly in the U.S. elections, but you're not going against them. You're only going against TikTok. Like, the hypocrisy of this whole thing is absolutely wild to me. It's insane that they keep doing that.
I just wish they'd be honest. You know, we can see through it. You guys aren't fooling anybody, man. We know why you're doing it.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with China. Don't believe that crap.
But it's also funny, like I said, is that manipulating users is scaring them to thinking they're about to lose TikTok. And I want to remind people, as I pull this next thing up, this is a tweet that I responded to on the Hooch page not that long ago. It was March 5th, right? Where Dan Crenshaw is literally saying, no one is trying to disguise anything. We want to ban TikTok. You're correct, right? So they're saying they're not banning TikTok, but that's exactly what they want to do. They're trying to ban TikTok. And like I said in response, yes, do you plan on selling your shares of its competitor Meta? How about banning the U.S. intelligence agencies from using social media to spy on Americans? All right, the only one who gets to spy on Americans is America, right?
That's right.
The only people that are allowed to spy on Americans is America.
Yeah.
So that's how they treat us.
They think they own us. So, we're Americans. We're spying on you. Yeah, we're allowed to do it. But for national security, we're allowed to do it. But, foreign adversaries halfway across the water can't do anything, even because they have even if they did, how does that affect us here in this country? And they're all the way over there in China. The people here in our own country spying on us, our own countrymen, have more effect on our lives, spying on us, keeping track of us, knocking on people's doors, asking them about a Facebook post. How do you know about my Facebook post? Well, why are you looking at it? Who gave you permission? Doesn't that violate the Fourth Amendment? I'm pretty sure it does.
Yeah, it does. But they still do it anyway. They don't care about violating your rights as long as they get what they want.
Yeah, of course. Defiance.
So it's just crazy to me. And then they'll keep violating it. Speaking of which, before we head out of here, we got to talk about Laken Riley and our glorious leader, Joe Biden,
the potato in chief,
who made a faux pas during the State of the Union, which we will be covering in full tomorrow on the Savage Patriots, mind you. So those of you who don't know, he was goaded into this by Marjorie Taylor Greene, who repeatedly say her name. And then he proceeded to try to say her name, even though he has a pen with her literal name on it with him. Which the worst part about this is the old man has the name of the girl, and he still F's it up. It's the funniest thing to me. So here you go. He picks up the pen.
Laken Riley.
He picks up the pen, has her name on it, looked at it. He literally looked at it, saw the name, and still messed it up.
And why did he need the pen in order to say her name? Because he doesn't.
He didn't know.
He didn't know. He doesn't care. Look at Kamala and her stupid smirk.
Because she knows he messed it up, man. Look at her face.
Laken Riley, an innocent.
That face says it all. Like, oh no, that's wrong. She knew the name. She knew what the name was. And that face says it all.
Every time I see this guy, I get upset, man. And he really, really chaps my ass. Because
it chaps it good, sir.
For people to even take him seriously as a serious candidate, as a serious president, is embarrassing to our country. And no matter what comes out about him, the leftists on all over social media will find a way to deflect whatever happens.
Oh yeah. But the funniest thing about that whole situation is that they weren't upset that he said her name wrong. It was the fact that he called later on in that clip the suspected killer an illegal, right? Who was killed by an illegal, but we're not talking about all the legals. The legals, he called citizens legals. We are legal citizens. That's how he sees us. We're legals. This is so insane. Okay, so here's one. So one of the people upset about him saying the wrong thing. He said the politically incorrect thing on the State of the Union, and so they had to call him out on it.
First of all, just the moment, but also on the term he used, illegal. There's been some backlash among some in his own party for using that term.
Look, it was clear being in the chamber last night that there were those on the extreme Republican Party who were trying to bait the president into responding to whatever heckle they were offering. It's unfortunate.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to also mention in this whole thing, because we're going to probably cover it tomorrow, that one of the people that they're talking about heckling him was the Gold Star father who lost their child at Abbey Gate with the fall of Afghanistan.
And didn't they drag him out of there or something?
They dragged him out and arrested him.
Of course, you know.
They arrested a Gold Star father who all he said was Abbey Gate, United States Marines, trying to get him to acknowledge his failure as a leader with how Afghanistan felt. And the whole thing about Abbey Gate is insane to me. And we've had this experience in combat before. You know, when you send it up the chain of command, you're just like, hey, I've got the guy. We can take him out now. Give me permission. They said no. They said no. They had the guy. They saw the guy. They had all the information they needed. They knew the bomb was coming. He said, let me take him out. And they said no. It was entirely preventable. But because of how they handled the Afghanistan situation is what led to this. So the far right extremist that she's talking about is one of the Gold Star fathers who was arrested for disrupting Congress. The same sort of sentencing they've been giving January 6 people, except for those Gaza protesters that went into the Hill and protested with their sit down or whatever it was. But yeah, no, rest the Gold Star father. Makes sense.
Fortunate that the president used that language. I don't believe that is the language that he believes in his heart about immigrant people who find their way to this country to make a better life for themselves.
First of all, just the moment.
Yeah. So make a better lives for themselves, these people. So
it doesn't matter. it doesn't matter what this buffoon that we call the president does. They are always going to find a way to play it down. When Donald Trump got up there, and we all remember, some are very bad people. Some are rapists. They put it out, the mainstream, these talking heads put out as if he said all are. And then you get the little smooth brain leftists that follow these people that regurgitate exactly what they heard on their TV. That's how stupid people are in our country.
And I just want to be clear, there's a lot of people on both the left and the right that are stupid.
No, exactly.
Like that are smooth brains and they just regurgitate whatever gets told to them. It's like you have to have your own mind into your own thoughts and read into stories yourself, because everybody's trying to lie to you. Everybody. And the biggest one of all is this guy who went on MSNBC to apologize not to Laken Riley's family, but to her killer, suspected killer. I just got to put that out there because they keep saying alleged. Let's just go with that. Innocent till proven guilty. That's true. But the alleged killer. And to the point of why you would apologize to an alleged killer, I don't know. But, you know, hey, you do you.
I noticed the look of surprise on your face when you walked into the chamber and you saw Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. It was priceless. You feigned shock at seeing her. But during your response to her heckling of you, you used the word illegal when talking about the man who allegedly killed Laken Riley.
An undocumented person. And I shouldn't have used illegal. It's undocumented. And look, when I spoke about the difference between Trump and me, one of the things I talked about on the border was that the way he talks about vermin, the way he talks about these people polluting the blood. I talked about what I'm not going to do, what I won't do. I'm not going to treat any of these people with disrespect.
I will. Because if the first act you do in the United States is to break the law, you don't deserve to be here.
No.
Period. Do I agree that the U.S. immigration system is too rough on people trying to get here illegally? Absolutely. Does it need to change? Absolutely. But none of them will actually do it.
That's right.
They will never fix the immigration system, even though they need to. They will never fix it.
And if anybody can answer this question in the audience, they always talk about asylum seekers.
Yeah.
I want to know what these people are seeking asylum from. Because there's no war going on in some of these countries. There's no genocide. A lot of these people even coming from African countries. They're not running from genocide. Yeah. So what are they seeking?
Or how about the Chinese military-age males coming across the border?
Yeah. What are they seeking asylum from? And this is the term they use. They're seeking asylum. Well, to seek asylum, you have to be running from something. How come when American citizens or citizens like Julian Assange, Eric Snowden, American citizen, seek asylum in another country, America's trying to hunt them down and grab them and bring them back? Mm-hmm. But when these people are supposedly seeking asylum, they're fully protected.
Yep.
I don't get it.
I don't either. There's only 10 seconds left. Let's finish it.
Look, they built the country. The reason our economy is growing. We have to control the border and more orderly flow, but I don't share his view at all.
And here's the thing that they always confuse about the whole situation. They always want to say that Republicans or people on the right are against immigration. Most of us aren't against immigration. We're against illegal migration, where people break the law coming across the border when they should be coming in the right way. And I understand that it's hard to do it, but people do it every single day. But the fact that they're glossing over and giving all of these people benefits for breaking the law while still not helping the inner cities or the homeless or any other people that are struggling to make it in the inflated economy that we're living in, but they will give away your money to somebody else, shows how much they actually care about you.
Yeah, and I posted a video of talking about this on TikTok. I was like, you can't flee your country, come in here illegally, and steal resources from people that are barely trying to make it every single day. So you can't, if you come over here legally and you go through the right channels, I got it. But if you come over here illegally and they just give you everything, a home, money, you're taking resources from people that have paid into the system, which I don't agree with. Do it the right way, fill out the right paperwork, do everything, go through all the steps that every single freaking immigrant that has come over here has done, because I know a lot of immigrants that have done it the right way, but yet they just come in, they show up, they give them all the resources while taking the resources from the citizens that have paid into the system.
Yeah.
It's not right. I don't care what they're fleeing from. Do it right.
Like I said, I'm not for reparations, but at the same time, it's kind of funny that they can always find money for illegals, but they can never find any for reparations. I just want to point that out there. So they can solve the homeless crisis as long as Xi Jinping's coming to town, Gavin Newsom in California. I just want to point that out there. And also New York and Chicago, they could solve the homeless crisis. They could put money in their hands. They could put them in hotels to protect them. But instead, they're giving it to the migrants who broke the law and came into the country illegally instead of helping theirs. They have money for that stuff, right, when it comes to illegals, but they don't have any money for it when it comes to citizens. Just want to I just want to point out the hypocrisy of the left, who are all for these social programs, but never get to benefit from any of them. The same thing with Social Security and Medicare that we talked about earlier, right? They will extract money from you until you die, but they won't give you any of it unless it's for what they want, which currently right now is boosting up numbers for congressional seats. Because that's what, don't be mistaken, they don't care about the illegals either. All they care about is boosting numbers in congressional districts where they need redistricting or they need another seat. That is it.
Yep, and you notice where they're moving all these immigrants. They're moving them to Democratic blue cities. People think this is just some chance that Greg Abbott and all these governors are moving all these people. No, this is all planned. They know if they move all these immigrants, they know that they're going to take the census and then they get more seats. So why would a Republican governor move immigrants to another major city that takes immigrants in order for that city or state to gain seats as their opposition party?
Did you know that in California, if you got rid of all of the illegals on the census, they would actually lose electoral college votes and a Senate, a congressional seat.
Good.
Just so you know, there's a reason why they don't need to vote. They just need to be alive in the country, in the state, in order to work around the system.
That's right.
So here's the other thing. Here's another defender of Biden.
As I predicted at this podium last week, Joe Biden would use the State of the Union to blame everyone else for his failures. He takes zero responsibility for the disaster that is our southern border.
It's true.
All the amounts of his yelling will not reverse the flow of the 9 million illegal immigrants who've come into this country while he has been president.
And also the Republicans have done nothing in order to stop it either. I just want to point that out. So like this is coming from, like, I know he's trying to go against Biden, but this is all political, showmanship. The Republicans haven't done anything to fix the immigration issue either, other than like build the wall and that, but you're not actually making it so that it's easier to get into the country or to maybe, fix it yourself. You're always wanting to blame the Democrats because you use it as a campaign issue. So they're just as guilty.
And no blaming will bring back innocent victims like Laken Riley, who was brutally murdered. And then this unapologetic president apologizes for calling her murderer an illegal immigrant. That's exactly what he is. And then the president...
And yet at the same time, the congressional Republicans are doing nothing to make it easier for ICE and other agencies to communicate with each other when they catch an illegal and actually get them out of the system, right? Because like that's one of the things that people tend to forget about this case is the fact that the killer or suspected killer was caught twice for doing illegal stuff.
Yep.
Right, for stealing and theft and actually committing crimes while he was in here illegally. They caught him twice and he wasn't deported. He wasn't even detained. He was let go. This guy wouldn't have been a problem if they had fixed the system in the first place, which is so insane to me.
They don't want to fix the system, man. They want chaos. Exactly. Order out of chaos. It's that old term. If they can create chaos, they can create the problem. They already have the solution. They're just waiting for the problem to billow over, which at the end of the day, we know what they really want. They want a civil war. They want American citizens to start getting fed up. This is why they're not doing anything really about this guy. I think he was already released. I don't even know. But they want Americans to get fed up to where there's a civil war. This is why there's such an influx of military-age males.
Yeah. And there's another thing that I saw on Twitter, people referencing this. I think is stupid, but it's how the left works. So they're complaining that this trash of a human isn't getting the same amount of attention as Jose Ibarra, which is the suspected killer of Laken Riley, right? Because this trash of a human raped and killed a 11-year-old girl and threw her in a river. And I just want to remind people, especially on the right, we've the ones been advocating the death penalty for pedophiles. And the mean wood chipper comes to mind when I think of that. So no, it's not the fact that we don't care about this. We do care about this. This guy's a trash human being that deserves everything that's coming to him when he's in jail. That's all I'm saying. But to equate what we're doing with saying that we look at this. This is the tweet. So exactly, do not see any of this at all over social media or TV news, unlike Laken Riley, which is unfortunate and sad. But we know her death was only talked about because of the right-wing maggot politics. May both souls rest in peace. So, and that was in response to this. Definitely haven't seen enough people talking about Don Stephen McGogle, the child predator who killed the 11-year-old girl, Adrienne Cunningham. Yeah, I didn't know about the story either, which is sad. I wish it did, because it should be on national news, because these people are trash human beings that deserve everything that's coming to them.
Wood chipper.
And we've always been in that state. But it's not the same. It's the same in the fact that they're both trash human beings. And one of them could have been prevented. Mm-hmm. Because if the guy wasn't here, he wouldn't have been available for the crime in the first place. Right? So that's why I say that. He was caught twice for committing crimes. He should have been in jail to begin with. He shouldn't have been in the country to begin with. And the same thing with this guy. is there was a loophole in one of the sex offender settings. This guy should have been locked up for life to begin with. Entirely preventable. Same thing. Right? So our system is failing us, but you want to call out the politics of it and saying, hey, the system needs to be fixed, and we can do that because of our representatives. That's what they're supposed to be doing. Right? Like I said, he's a trash human. They're both trash humans.
Yep. They need to be thrown under the jail for life.
Under the jail and completely.
In a dungeon with no lights, no nothing, drops food down a couple times a week and some water, and they can freaking live underground with the reptilians.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I was going to read some of the things that the part that they've reported on the charging documents. We ran out of time, but you need to look up what this guy actually did to her. And it is disgusting to the fact that Joe Biden apologized to this man who is suspected of doing such a heinous thing. That's like, in my opinion, it's the same thing as that 11-year-old girl's killer. You apologize to him for anything. They're both trash human beings that do not deserve a lick of sympathy from any of us.
And don't get it wrong, you do have a bunch of leftists out there that are sympathizers for these pedophiles. You know, they call them minor attracted people. No, call them what they are. Don't get up here and be a sympathizer for these sick individuals, because the day is going to come. The day is going to come where there's going to be street justice, and you're going to see American citizens out there rounding these people up and doing what they have to do to keep our community safe, since our own government doesn't want to do it for us.
And here's another infuriating thing. Yeah, she was 11, but do you remember that story about that that one little girl that couldn't get an abortion because she was raped, right? And it turned out the person that did it was also an illegal. Mm-hmm. That was a family member. But then they shut up about it as soon as they found out that he was an illegal. And it's like, because they were trying to make an abortion argument about Roe v. Wade. They didn't care about the little girl that got raped by a family member. They cared that she couldn't get an abortion. That was it. Or it supposedly couldn't, because they were playing politics with this little girl's life. So it's not above them to use it in any case.
Yeah,
Mom's boyfriend. Yeah.
You know, and I know we have to go, but when I was working for the sheriff's department, we had this Hispanic guy in there. Don't know what his status was as a citizen, but he ended up raping his granddaughter and getting her pregnant. And he was in jail like nothing, no remorse, no nothing, just like, you know. It's just like these people have no remorse. It's a mental disorder, and we need to remove those people from society.
Yeah, and they exist everywhere. It's not just because they're illegals. I'm just saying that the problem would not exist if there wasn't there, and then we could take care of the ones that are here that are trash humans. Because believe it or not everybody is worth the life they are given. They are trash human beings, and they always will be trash human beings. Mm-hmm. And the guy that raped that little girl is a trash human being that deserves everything he gets. Period.
Soulless demon. That's what he is. No soul.
Exactly. Him and his little swastika wearing fucking thing just makes me mad. Anyway, that'll be it for the show tonight. When I keep going over, I don't mean to, but I keep doing it. I'm guessing you guys stick with us and enjoy it, so we'll do it as long as we need to. We're going to be on the Savage Patriots tomorrow night, same time, same place as usual. We're going to be covering the State of the Union. Michael, you got anything else before we head up?
I don't know. Keep your eyes on the prize. There's a lot going on in the country, and stop believing the propaganda, because the propaganda machine is at full capacity right now. They're doing anything in their power to protect this fraud of a president we have, and just where we go one, we go all, and nothing can stop what is coming.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I appreciate everybody. Thanks for coming out, chat. We'll see you all next time. That'll be for us. Follow, like, share, follow, comment, subscribe, do all the things you're supposed to do. You've been on the social media for 20 years almost now. You know what to do. You know the issue.
Share,
like everything. Share everything. Anyway.
Oh, wait. Before we go, our Big Shirley, our Fannie Willis podcast got over 5,000 views. So on the Savage Patriots, we'd like to thank you guys for that. But we need you guys to help push this one also. So make sure you share with your like-minded friends, and let's get the Hooch up there, because we are a team, even though we're two separate shows.
Yep, exactly. So as always, we Tuesdays, Thursdays, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. We love you, America. And we are out.
Out. War.